2, 3, 4, Mama Juice coming to you. Welcome back to
Mama Juice,
where the bad moms come for the
juice.
So how are you, girl?
You know, mom life.
Mom life, yes, definitely.
My day today was so
Hectic?
crazy and hectic because Jasmine hurt her toe. She took a step off of the sidewalk onto the asphalt and went toe first. Yeah, and it's disgusting and it looks painful, and so...
Wait, the picture that you sent to me was your toe or her toe?
Hers.
Oh.
That was her toe.
I thought it was your toe.
No, girl, that was her little toe.
I read Jassy hurt my toe this morning.
Shoot. No, her toe.
Is that what you said? Hold on.
Let me verify that you're telling the truth. I could have written it wrong because I just...
Oh no, you did. Jassy got her. Like,
yeah.
I thought.
Yeah.
Okay, that was me.
Yeah, so her toe is disgusting, as you see.
Was she like hysterical?
No. Well, yes, but you want to know what made me sad?
What?
She was blaming herself instantly. Instead of like just crying, she was saying, "Why did I do this? Why did I run? I shouldn't have run.
She was
It's never gonna be okay." I said, Jazzy, everything becomes okay eventually. Like, it's okay. So her dad took her to the doctor today, which made me sad because I couldn't be there. I was like trembling the whole time. Luckily, the doctor that she goes to now is a friend of mine. So she sent me a Facebook message right after she saw Jasmine, and she was like, she's okay. I cleaned it. She did so good. She's so sweet. So my van's in the shop.
Really?
$1,500 to fix the AC and a few other problems. And I forgot that I need the 2 car seats out of there. So now my mom is getting the car seats from my van in Tempe because I wouldn't have any way to pick up my kids. And then I forgot I didn't have a way to get here to you from work. So my mom had to call my brother. And then you come to my house and no one's here. And you had to find all this stuff. It's just a mess. And you hear my voice? At least it's better.
Welcome Mondays. Mondays are the best.
Why are you there Monday? So how are you?
Okay, well, I kind of had an interesting morning as well. We took the boys to Fountain Hills, to a park that's like literally right at Fountain Hills. You know, like the fountain. Okay, so we live in Arizona, and one of the cities, I guess, here, which is like where all the rich people live, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very wealthy.
It's very nice. They have this fountain that goes super high, and it's very pretty. So they built a park there with a splash pad, but
is it new?
New, I think so.
Okay, I was gonna say, girl, I did not know that Fountain Hills had anything to do with an actual fountain.
You have never been to Fountain Hills?
I've been to like
the fountain
city, but not
like
been to the fountain. No, I thought it was just a name.
Okay, so I'm gonna have to take you there. What?
Arizona native
please
here.
somebody comment down below and tell me if you know about the fountain.
Girl, I'm telling you right now, not everybody knows about that fountain. Okay?
Really?
I mean, I've been here my whole life, almost 33 years, and I've never heard of said fountain.
Well, I'm gonna take you guys one of these days.
Yeah, I can't wait to tell everybody about it.
Yay!
The fountain, that fountain here.
It's very pretty. Like, you should go, and we should actually plan a play date to take the kids. We had a road trip for Joanne's birthday in June. It ended up in a total mess. Joanne threw up all over our rented car.
Oh, no.
And then Jaime threw up all over it. And then Joshua peed all over it because he had to go pee. So I tried to put a bottle in his penis.
Was he car sick?
Yes, it was a mess. Like
that bottle in penis.
So he could pee in it, so we wouldn't stop. And like, he just peed all over the window, all over the seats, all over my arm. My left arm was like overused with vomit and pee. I was like, at this point, I'm just gonna chop it off. Like, I was done, you know?
It's done.
It was a mess. So this road trip that we took, we were like, okay, this is gonna be successful. It's like 35 minutes away. We're good. We're fine. Well, no. At the park, Joanne just starts barfing because I don't know why it didn't occur to me that he just had eaten. He went onto a swing that spins. It was super hot today.
Right.
They were running around, so I'm sure he got dehydrated.
Sure.
And he was just, everything just came out, and he was feeling so sick, so we had to leave.
Aww.
And I'm like, you know what, Joanne, like, there's not one day that you don't throw up. Like, every time there has to be like a field trip type of thing, he throws up. Like,
Girl, you gotta get him medicine.
That's my fault. Like, I need to start like Pedialyte, preparing with like something, but that was.
I mean, I don't know how young you can give kids Dramamine.
I don't know.
But he needs something, poor dude.
Yes, I'm like, okay, we can't do this anymore without being prepared for next time, because it's just a throw up mess, a vomit mess. So that was my Monday.
So if you don't have kids or you're a new mother, motherhood really consists of a lot of vomit, a lot of pee, a lot of poop.
Okay, sorry, let me interrupt you really quick.
A lot of boogies. Okay, what?
Joshua, okay, we stopped at Circle K to get some Gatorade to fill them up with electrolytes, you know?
Right.
Joshua was like, are we getting Gatorade for my penis?
In a store?
No, he was just in the back.
Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah, that would have been like...
If he's at the store and he's like, are we getting some Gatorade for my penis?
I'm
People
like,
would have been like, what?
Like, what does your penis have to do with Gatorade? And then Jamie was like, my husband, he was like, he knows he has to take care of it, you know, put some electrolytes in there. She was like, no, that is disgusting. But
Boys,
yeah. Be ready for that. Maybe if one of you want to come on as a guest and talk about the mommy mess, because there's a lot of mommy mess. Monday mommy mess. Have somebody tell their story of their Monday mommy mess.
Yeah, because it literally happens, and it's often on Mondays.
Usually Mondays start that way.
Yeah.
That's great. So for today's episode,
we're going to discuss social media and how it affects, influences our lives, where it fits into our lives. Is it good or bad? Is it good for our mental health? All to do with social media and its effect on us. Personally. On humans as a whole,
emotionally, all the illies, you know,
all the illies,
you know. What do you think about social media to begin with?
So I think the thing that people do a lot is they want to blame something for people's actions. You know, it's social media's fault that kids are eating Tide Pods. I think we have to remember that we are what controls social media, you know, like we have to go on to it.
We control everything.
Exactly. Like, as humans, like, we have to be the ones to go onto it and put that content out there. So it's not social media, it's people. And they just have an extra way to do things now.
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes down to, like, for example, like, children imitating what's on social media, I don't think, and actually it doesn't have to do anything what's on social media, but it has everything to do what the parent is allowing that child to watch. Parental control. You know, there's like a certain age where you give them a little bit more freedom, you know?
Yes.
But, I mean, don't you think that, like, if the kids wouldn't have the total freedom of social media completely out there wouldn't be, like, trying to imitate what
I think doing? It wouldn't be as prevalent, maybe. Yeah. But at the same time, like, think about yourself as a young child, a young teen. Like, did you follow all the rules that your mom gave you?
Oh, yeah, definitely. There's, like, a lot of peer pressure out there. We can't do anything to stop it. It's gonna happen at one point or another. But, like, for example, like, my parents were ignorant about technology because they're really not into technology. None of them have a Facebook, none of them have Instagram. I think older parents in that age group, they just didn't deal with social media. And a lot of them don't.
They didn't grow up with it, so it's not as, like,
and they don't
nature.
have a job where it requires for them to use a computer, you know, so they're not tech savvy. Like, my dad works construction, and my mom always has worked cleaning houses, so that doesn't require them using a computer. And their phone, they basically use it to talk, text, nothing further. Like, they're not into that. And when I was using social media, as a teenager, like I was able to see everything because they never really were on me. Like, you know, like, oh, what are you doing? We did have a computer, and that computer stayed in the living room. I never had a phone until I married Jamie.
Really?
Yeah, so...
I didn't have a phone until I could pay for it myself, so...
Like when you were like 16, 17?
Yeah, 17. You have to remember that when... when I was 17, phones were these little bricks that didn't have any access to anything. It was literally just calling and texting, and we had like little crappy black and white games. Right. So that really wasn't a problem for me. I forgot where I was going with that. That's it. That's all I got.
Social media does affect, let's say, children in general. Like, not children and teenagers. I feel like we should be like, oh, hey, let me see your computer. Let me see your phone. Especially if I pay for it, you know?
Right.
Like be a little bit more involved what they're doing technology-wise, because it doesn't necessarily have to do with eating Tide Pods. But right now, all the sex trafficking that's going on, you know, like, it's scary. This world is scary. And
you know what is interesting about that? And it's funny because every conversation, for the most part, when you're talking about issues, especially like that, you want to talk about the internet. Right. Have you seen those posts on social media where it's like, you guys, I was with my kids at the park and this old man with a suitcase was following us around and I just know it was a sex trafficker. Have you seen those?
No.
Girl, these stories are so, like, it's like always in a big, open, like, public, really, it's always shopping malls and stuff. And
or grocery stores.
Grocery stores, right? But the last one, some woman in Arizona... in Gilbert said that she was being followed by a man in a Winco. She got a store associate. They called the police, blah, blah, blah. Winco, that location, and the police said that didn't happen here. Like, we have no record of this. She made it up. And I just wonder because, so I looked into sex trafficking because I started seeing these posts, and I would comment sometimes when my friends would post it and be like, guys, that story just does not make sense. Like, they're really bad kidnappers if they're always out in the open just snatching people. I researched it. They get to people by getting to know them. Kids, young girls. They get through them on social media, on different texting apps. You know, they find them and they build a relationship. So these kids, obviously the older ones, not like the babies and the toddlers, but these kids are... going willingly, not knowing what they're going into.
No,
because
definitely.
this person has built a relationship with them.
You know, actually, I met this mom that maybe you guys have seen on social media. Oh my goodness, I forgot the little girl's name. But she was missing since September 15th of last year. She's autistic.
Okay.
Really, she's like 13 years old. I think she would turn like 14 this year or something like that, and she went missing since last year. I went in March before this Rona thing happened. There was this women's convention that happened in March for the Women's International Day, and the mom was actually there. You were allowed to promote your business or anything that you wanted to promote, and she put a booth there with her, you know, her daughter's pictures with all the ads to hand out to people to see if, like, we've seen her. And I talked to her about it, and she's like, no. She's like, she honestly was playing a video game. Like, I don't know if it was like Roblox or I don't know. I don't remember the exact video game, or Fortnite, something like that. And she was talking to somebody there.
They do it.
I mean, I can understand, you know, her being what do you say? Autistic. Like, for her to talk to that person even more, like, willingly, you know? And for them to kind of, like, get into her head, like, that somehow, some way, she gave him her address. And everything. That man, that night, rang the bell. She went out, she said, and I think the mom was, like, taking a shower or something. She went out and she never saw her again. And that guy came and she snatched her. And she hasn't seen her, and we haven't heard anything about that. And I think that it's those places that we think that our kids are okay and safe.
In your house. You know? In your freaking front room.
They have the audacity to come to your house and take your children away, and it's scary. Like I get so scared. Like my boys, they love Roblox. So I turn off the chat option.
Yeah, what does a kid need to do that for? To chat with anybody, with strangers? No.
I'm like, no, that's scary. Like, I'm so, like, terrified of all those things, you know. Even going to grocery stores, like, I keep them right next to me, and I'm like, you're not going to be running around.
Well, you know, growing up, my mom was very graphic with me. She was like, if you go out of my sight, somebody is going to take you, and they're going to kill you. And they're going to chop you up into little pieces, and they're going to just throw you, and I'll never find you. So I was terrified. So we lived in an apartment complex. And, you know, Jamie and them lived there too, family members. I mean, we had so many friends that lived there, so many family members. Like, it was a cute little community of us. Back in our day, it was be home by sunset. Like, that was the rule. Go play, have fun, do whatever you want.
Yeah, we had the same rule.
Be home by sunset.
Yeah.
Well, my crazy ass would just get distracted, and all of a sudden I'd be like, the sun's gone. And I'd have to go home. And of course I would get in trouble.
The sun is gone.
My mom found a movie, and I don't know what movie it was, but she found a movie. This was back in like the early 90s. And it had a really graphic scene of a little girl who was taken and she was raped. And my mom made me watch it because she got sick of me not understanding, like, I'm not doing this to bother your life. I'm doing this because it's dangerous. And, I mean, now I'm afraid of everything. So it worked.
It's because I really just don't know what other way we can
You have to scare the shit out of them, yeah.
Explain that to them, you know. I tell my boys, like, you'll never see me again. Ever. Is that what you want? Jaime's like my big softie. So he'll start crying. Like, I want to be with you forever. Even the fact of me telling him that one day you're leaving my house and you're going to be on your own. I don't want to. I want to be with you forever. I'm like, that's what you say right now. That's what you say right now. But when you're 30,
rolled around.
Once you're 17, you're going to be like, I don't want to be here anymore, you know?
Right. I honestly, I think you have to do that. I scare the shit out of my kids all the time. Like the other day, I don't know where we were. Yeah. And Luke ran off. He was just running. Oh, we were at the 99-cent only store. When I caught up to him, I grabbed him by the arm and I whispered, because whisper's scarier than yelling, I think. And I whispered to him. I said, there is a man here that is going to take you. He's going to keep you. And you're never going to see any of us again. And he's going to do very bad things to you. And he was like, Mom! And he just hugged on to me. And I'm like, good, be scared.
You know, the issue that I have is, like, how do we be kind to everyone, like even strangers, but then the other side of, like, fear them because you don't trust them and you might they might, like, you can't trust them,
right? And it's about teaching them how to interact safely, right? So you want them to be scared, and this happens, I think, more with children our age because they don't understand the difference, right? Because I noticed that when I started telling Jasmine stuff like this, you know, like, you need to be scared because you don't know if this person's nice or not. And I think, like, this is, like, kind of off topic, but trust me, it connects. So, you know, like with Corona, everybody's saying, like, oh, why should we wear a mask? I don't want to live in fear. The thing is, like, you don't have to live in fear to understand caution. Like, you have to take precautions, right?
No, yeah, I'm with you.
And so when you're approaching a stranger in any setting, you have to have precautions. It doesn't mean you have to live in fear of strangers, that every single one's going to murder you, even though I kind of do. I don't know why.
No, yeah. You can't.
You know, you want to teach them, like, it's okay to be cautious, but, you know, still get to know people. And that's okay, but just do it in the right way.
Okay, so I watch a lot of, like, self-defense trainers with Jaime, because he's, like, with Jamie, like, he's, like, very into that. And he says, like, that trainer.
Yeah. So I just had to take a break to kick my dog out of the room because I don't know what she was doing. She was eating weird stuff. She only does that when we're doing this.
Because she knows.
Yeah, she
knows that you don't have that attention.
Yes.
She's a baby. It's just a
jerk.
your attention. So that self-defense guy would say, no woman should be kind to somebody that is making her feel uncomfortable. Men or women, like, it doesn't matter. Like, you're at the store and you feel this, like, kind of vibe with the man or a woman, it doesn't matter.
Right.
With the person.
Yeah.
Don't, it's okay to be rude. It's okay to be like, you know, because you just don't know what their intentions are. And if you are already feeling that weird vibe from them, trust your gut. And at the end of the day, it's like, you don't get to see that person ever again.
So I have a crazy story.
Right.
I used to be a lot more cute than this. Like, I used to wear makeup. I used to do my hair. I wore, like, nice dresses and high heels to work. I was a lot thinner. And it's just true. It's true. So I was at the grocery store after work one night, and I got off work late. So it was probably like 9:30 at night, right? And I remember I was walking around the store, and I kept feeling like this guy was, like, on me, right? He noticed me notice him, and he comes up. He's like, I don't do this a lot, but can I have your number? And he was attractive, and I was like, okay. So I gave him my number. He was texting me, and we're texting, and even texting, I got a vibe. And I'm like, something's not right. And so I eventually just told him, you know what, I'm not really looking for anything right now. He claimed he was a Green Beret in the Army and working towards a certain degree, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I just got bad vibes. So I feel like...
You walked away.
Well, when he came up behind me, I felt like when he saw me notice him is when he, like, snapped into, like, oh, hey.
I could talk to her, like, kind of like you gave him that, like...
Or, like, he knew I was suspectful that he was maybe going to follow me to my car. So instead, he turned it around.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving down the road, like, a couple months after this happened. I was already dating Chris by this time. And I see him jogging. No joke. I'm looking at him because I recognize him. He looks me dead in the eye, and I just got this, like, murder vibe. I'm serious. It was so scary. And I mean, I'll obviously never know. Like, I'll never know if my instincts were right, but I would rather not know and turn down this, you know, potentially successful, attractive man than trust him and get murdered and eaten.
Have you seen You?
No, you know what?
Oh, girl,
there's so much ugly in the world. My life is so stressful.
Just watch something like that.
I watch mindless TV or stuff that makes me feel good.
Yeah.
I just choose to do that.
I agree. But the reason why I am using You as an example, it's because it's like that. It's this handsome guy, you know, good looking guy. You think that he owns a bookstore. You think everything's, like, good with him, and little do we know, in his bookstore basement, he has, like, this cage kind of thing, and where he stores, like, really, really old books and stuff.
Oh, they're gonna say humans.
No, but that's the thing, though. Like, people that get in his way that he doesn't like or that are messing with people he loves, like, he gets rid of them and he puts them in there, and he eventually kills them without even, like, really realizing it. Like, he's crazy. Well, he's a psychopath. And so you get those kind of people, you know? You just never, you can't go by appearances. You gotta go, I think, by your gut feeling.
Yeah, exactly. And you know what was weird is he wore a ring on his ring finger. And I remember texting him. I said, you know, now that I'm talking to you, I just remember you had a ring on your ring finger. And he said, oh, it's a CTR ring. Like, and I'm like, oh, okay. Well, just so you know, I'm not Mormon. And I'm never going to be Mormon, so don't try to convert me. But he's like, no, my family's Mormon. I'm not practicing anymore, but I just like the message behind it. Yeah, everything about him was
weird.
Odd.
Yeah. But see, like, we have, like, there's just, I'm sure there's just, like, so many, like, cases out there of different, you know, I was 9 years old at Kmart with my parents walking around. Back then they used to, like, let me sometimes go to the toy aisle and then run back to them when I was done.
Yeah.
I had this old creepy guy following me, and I noticed that. And I would go into an aisle, and then he would go into the aisle and act like he was looking at whatever, like, was by that aisle. And I was starting to feel scared. So I run to my dad and I tell my dad, because it had happened for a good like maybe 10 minutes already. Like that's when I caught him. Like I'm like, ugh. So I ran and I told my dad, like, I think this guy is following me, and I'm like, and he's making me really scared. And I started crying. I started bawling, girl, because that's how uncomfortable I felt, and that's how scared I was, because he was definitely following me. And he was like, what? And that guy followed me to where my parents were, but he was kind of like, you know how there's the aisle, and then there's the center walkway, and then there's the other side of the other aisle. So he was like on the other side. And I'm like, it's him. And my dad was like, him? And the guy, as soon as he saw that I pointed at him and I was telling my dad, he took off. My dad went after him, and the guy like literally ran out of the store.
Oh my goodness.
And my dad wasn't able to like catch up to him, but he was pissed. My dad was mad. At that point, we just let, you know, like the associates know, we let the store know, you know, they took our information and all of that, and that went down. It was scary. Yeah. It was scary, and I'm afraid of that, you know.
Yeah, and I feel like those types of abductions still happen, but I feel like they're a lot more common back then because we didn't have social media.
No, and now that's what they're using is social media.
It's easier for them because they're not out in the open getting their pictures on video cameras in the store.
They can use a phone, throw it away, and use a different phone.
Or those text apps.
Yeah.
It doesn't show your real phone number.
Yeah.
We've totally got off topic a little bit as far as social media goes.
Yeah, sorry guys, but
So, okay, I wanted to tell, I don't know if you remember, hey Jazz.
Hey Jazz. Hey girl, how's your toe? Good. Yeah? Does it hurt still?
How'd it go at the doctor's? Good. Hey Jazz, Luna needs to get out because she's being wild.
Luna, out.
She's a wild.
You can be our guest, but send Luna away. Go find a toy and throw it for her.
She doesn't want to go.
Go find, okay, but if she starts acting bad, shut the door still.
Oh,
close it.
You got her.
Thank you.
Okay, you can be our guest. Come sit on my lap. Oh, so
back to
yeah. So my first, I guess, on our last podcast, I said my first interaction with social media was MySpace, and I think I think that was wrong because I don't know if this counts as social media, but come sit on my lap. Do you remember chat rooms on AOL? You might have been too young.
Yeah.
You were,
I think I was. I don't think I remember. Okay. Yeah.
So I think this counts as social media.
And it goes with the blah, blah.
It was these things called chat rooms, and you would sign in, and it was literally like this, like it looked almost like a Word document, but it was live. So you're chatting with people, and it had like emojis, and it was the start of emojis, and you could IM them. You know, like a DM, and it would pop up on your screen. So you'd have like IMs and then your chat room. A lot of them were people looking, you know, it would be like, this is so funny, I remember it. So like I would go in a chat room for like say 30s and over, and then I would put 32/F for female and what you're looking for, stuff like that. Well, me and my friends were like 12 years old and we were in these chat rooms, and we would be like, cover yours. We would be pretending to be older. Luckily, like, we never crossed the line and actually met anybody, but some girls I'm sure did. Like, older men, like, we're saying, like, we're 14, 20-something-year-old men are like, can I come pick you up? And it's like 10, 11 o'clock at night. Yes. So it started, I think, with chat rooms on AOL, dial-up internet, and I remember that. And then it evolved into
whatever it is right now.
What it is now.
So, I mean, when it comes down to children or teens, I think that has like a big effect.
Yeah.
And not just social media, but video games and stuff. But
well, and what's interesting is I feel like we're just really starting to see, like, with your generation down, what the real kids who grew up with this stuff are like, you know, because we didn't know with my generation, because like I said, like when I was a teenager we got chat rooms and that was it.
Oh, look, it's turning green.
Yeah, it means I'm talking. So speaking of meeting boys on the internet, how'd you meet your husband?
Facebook. Yes, it was through Facebook. And as weird as it sounds, here we are 8 years later.
Happily married, 3 children.
Happily. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank God. You know, it's been a struggle, but I mean, I think every relationship is.
So, how old were you when you started talking with him?
I was, let me go back. I think I was almost 17. I had a boyfriend
Oh, girl.
at that time. Sorry.
So then, okay, rewind. Your parents have your computer in the living room. You don't have a phone, so you're not on your phone. So did your parents know that you were talking to a boy on Facebook?
They knew that I was just talking to friends from school.
Ah.
That is the excuse I would just,
And
it would be
Jamie
like,
did not go to school with you.
no. Definitely not. He didn't. Actually, we started talking through my mom's phone because sometimes she would let me text my friends through her phone.
Okay.
And so that's how I started just texting him, and from there it just went on for 2 years until I graduated from high school. He actually went to my graduation, and that was the first time I ever had met him. Like,
You guys talked
ever.
for 2 years?
For 2 years.
Wow.
2 years straight. We met for the first time at my graduation. I was so scared because I was like, one, is he lying to me?
Right. Who's going to show up?
Number 2, who's going to show up? No, lying as far as like, is he even going to show up?
Oh, okay.
Is he just like, you know?
I'm just trying to get in here.
No, she eats stuff.
So, you know, like and my parents don't really know that's, even to this day, that's how I met him.
Really?
Yeah.
What did you say? You met him at school?
Yeah. And I think that's what they think.
So here's what you have to do, okay? This is a Mama Juice podcast challenge. I want you to sit your parents down, and I want you to say, did you guys know that I met Jaime on the internet?
Seriously. I think they would be like,
You'd be like, what? It worked out though. See, that's what I mean. Like,
you just
2
don't know.
good people met on the internet, and it worked.
There's always a good and a bad to
For everything.
It's just how you want to use it.
Right.
And, you know, for example, like me, like social media, I completely got rid of it. For right now, like, especially how crazy the world is, like, I started, like, consuming myself with all this, like, negativity that I would see. I just felt stressed. Like, I needed a break. Like, mentally, I needed a break. And I was on it, like, 24/7. And I wasn't, like, completing my task. And then right now I have, like, so much going on that I'm, like, social media for right now is not my priority.
Right.
I have homeschooling. I have this podcast. I have my family. I have just so many things that I'm, like, that can't be my focus right now, you know?
Yeah.
But I think social media is good for businesses.
Yes.
You know, and even social life. Like,
Yes, you know, my kid's dad, he's from Massachusetts. The only family he has down here are his parents and his siblings, and his parents moved a few hours away now, so really it's just like his brothers. I mean, every once in a while one of them will reach out to me and say, like, you know, thank you for posting so many pictures of the kids, like, we love to see them grow up. They have great grandparents, you know, in Massachusetts, and they are all really happy to see the kids grow up on social media. And I think for that is wonderful. You know, because it's like you don't have to send a picture per person. It's just, and
everybody gets to see it.
That's why I would never delete my Facebook or my Instagram, because I have so many memories on there.
Mm-hmm.
And I should write stuff down. They have apps where you can actually print your post and you pick which one you print. I want to do that because then all my memories are there.
No, yeah, absolutely. You know, I have family in Mexico that you know I haven't seen in a while. Well, for myself personally, I'm speaking for myself. Like, sometimes I feel like I need that, like, that break. You know?
Oh no, totally. It has to be a balance, because you know what? I will admit this. Hi, my name is Sandra, and I'm addicted to social media. Like, literally.
No.
Literally, like today at work, I was like, I'm gonna be focused. I'm gonna get this done. And
then when you least know it, you're just like,
I had to talk myself out of it. I said, don't check it. I would think to check it, and I go, don't check it. And I would keep working, because you know, my mind is all over the place all the time. You know, I have these kids I'm thinking about, I have this project I'm thinking about, and then I am spending time on social media when I should be working. Or, you know, it clouds my brain because I'm thinking about other stuff, and I make errors, and I've been getting talked to a lot at work, so I'm like, I need to focus. Like, I need to prove myself. Because I love my job, and I love my management team, and I want to be a better employee for them because I feel like social media has played a role in me not being the best employee I could be.
Yeah, but see, that's when we come down to just having that self-discipline. And that's my goal, is work on my self-discipline. So when I get back to social media, I can have, okay, you know what, Karina? This day and this day are for you to check your social media, be on it for a good 10, 15 minutes. And then the other days, you're completely focused on what you need to do on everything else. Because it can consume your life and you can't get addicted. Because me too.
Yeah.
I was
you know what it is for
addicted,
me is I have serious FOMO. Like, I'm like, do you know what that means? Is that like a 90s term? FOMO? Fear of missing out?
I don't know.
It must be. I don't know. I always show my age, but
FOMO. Nice.
I'm like,
you feel like
I'm gonna miss it. I'm in these free groups where people give away free things. I love free stuff. Chris makes fun of me because he's like, you don't need this stuff. Like, he goes, your slogan in life should be, if it's free, it's for me. But you know what? I've gotten away with not having to buy my kids a lot of clothes and stuff that way. So it's helpful for my life. Lately, what I've been trying to do, and I know you told me that Jamie laughs at me for this. Because, so reminder, Jamie is my cousin, and it's her husband. And so I have gotten so much better. But I have to train myself not to, because when I see something that I think is stupid or annoying or whatever, I have to comment. It's like a sickness. Like, I have to say something. And it's to the point where, I'm ignoring my kids because I'm like, no, I got to say this back to them, before they block me.
And sometimes, most of the times it's pointless.
It is.
And you know what? I think that's another thing of social media is, not necessarily, with you, but in the sense of, people have to be mean. There's no,
repercussions.
There you go.
Yeah, what do they call them? Keyboard warriors or something? Because it's like you're tough on the internet, but would you do I do say this stuff to people's face, though.
Because you are, I know you, you're the type of person that, you just don't, you're not fake, you're not, behind a screen you're one way, and then in person you're another way. No, you're totally, this is her.
I'm so abrasive. It's
But there's those people that just feel like they need to be mean, and then you meet them in person, and they don't have the guts to tell you what they told you on the internet, and it's okay, why?
Be careful, Jessie.
Okay.
Oh, you got a cool Band-Aid.
It's
Yeah, that's cute.
She had to soak it for now.
That's good. Did it hurt?
No.
Okay.
It wasn't the itchy one.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, Jess, you want to share your toe issue?
No.
You don't want to tell them what happened to your toe?
No.
What happened to your toe, girl? What happened to your toe? What were we talking about?
Social media.
Well, yeah, but where were we?
Just people being mean behind the screen.
People being mean, yes. And so I follow this doctor. His name's Dr. Mike. He's on
YouTube.
Yes, so he's one of my favorite YouTubers, and he's an actual board certified family medicine doctor. So he has a practice and everything, but he got on social media because he felt like there was so much false information that he wanted to be the voice of reason. And so I'm watching one of his videos, and he was talking about anti-vaxxers, people who do not vaccinate their kids. They don't believe in it. They think it's poison. And he was saying that, Jasmine, I'm trying to work. What, you want to say something?
Hello.
People were saying, doesn't it make you angry? And he's like, kind of, but he's like, nobody is going to listen to you if you're yelling at them, if you're attacking them. If you want to get through to somebody, have compassion. He's like, I don't kick patients out because they won't vaccinate their children. He says, I talk to them. I build a rapport with them. And if I can get them to give their child one of the vaccines that we recommend. It's like, I did something good for this family. I helped them understand at least this one's important. Maybe in the future we'll come.
And those are the doctors that we need, but that's completely a different.
Yeah, that's a different topic. But the thing
yeah.
is, like, I watched that video and I was like, dude, like, I had become that person who, even in person or to my friends or on Facebook or wherever it was, like, I was not approaching topics with compassion. I wasn't trying to see where that other person was coming from, because I was like, no, this is the right way and you got to understand this, and if you don't, I'm going to be passive aggressive and sarcastic, and that's just not the way to be. Like, it was affecting who I was becoming as a person. It started with online. I've always kind of been like honest and like in your face kind of person, but the online version of me was becoming who I was in person, rather than, like you were saying, a lot of times people change who they are online versus they're nicer in person. I was like being mean on social media, and then I became a meaner person. When he said that, it just resonated with me, and I'm like, you know what, Sandra, like, have compassion. Like, even if somebody doesn't believe in vaccines, and I 100% believe like they are necessary to our survival as a species, understand maybe they had a child who had a bad reaction.
I think everything that we, like, it's whatever we believe in has a lot to do with like our background, so that's where we like definitely should have compassion for everybody's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Like, we just
and like, you can have compassion and understand why they might feel that way and still understand the facts, because like that's one of my problems is like my brain, and people who are like this tend to have kind of rough around the edges personalities, but I work off facts. I believe strongly in science and I believe in modern medicine. Mm-hmm. And so when the facts are there and people don't believe it, I'm like, why? How can you not believe this? Like, you're looking at the facts. The doctor's telling you the facts. But that's when that compassion comes in, and you say, you know what? Even though the science is here, the facts are here, this is correct, it's okay, because this person might be going through something, or maybe they went through something, and that is why they feel the way they feel. Mm-hmm. So
yeah, definitely.
It doesn't mean you have to change your stance on something, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
It's just being less judgmental, more compassionate, and more understanding. Respect, respect each other's way of thinking.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm, definitely.
But still know I'm right. You're like, no.
Oh my goodness.
I'm just kidding, kind of.
Yeah, so I think social media has a lot of goods and a lot of bads, but I think it's something that everything else has their pros and their cons, and it's the way that you want to use it and how you want to think about it. Okay, guys, so this has come to an end.
Yeah, so our general feelings on social media is it's not all good, it's not all bad, and I think everybody should kind of look into their usage and how it's benefiting their life or how it's hurting your life, and kind of go from there. Yeah. Like, you're taking a detox, maybe it'll be forever, maybe you'll be back.
Oh no, not forever, girl.
No,
I can't do forever. But
I'm a true addict. When you said that, I was like, I should do that too. But I'm like, but I manage Mama Ju's podcast, so I have to stay on social media.
No, and see, that's something that I was like, okay, Sandra decided to handle social media. I'm like, so I'll be okay. If you need a break, take a break. It's okay. Right.
So, guys, we are looking for guests. We're going to start having guests on our podcast.
Yes.
So if you're interested, let us know. You can comment, you can message us, however you want to do it. Always remember to subscribe, like, comment, share,
review,
all the things. If you like
we
what
take any kind of constructive criticism in
any
way.
We got some cool feedback last time. I liked it.
Yeah, me too.
Don't feel like you're gonna hurt my feelings, because
not mine either. Trust me.
I want to know. Like, I want you to be like, Sandra, this is not working for your audience. So I like it.
Definitely. Have an amazing day.
Mama Ju.